Hey everyone, it's Nick with Us versus Herd. I want to talk today about Tesla going private, also kind of some of the dangers of short selling, using some option examples here and some of the pricing here. If you're new to this channel, we have a free options trading group. You can actually hit that link right below, but we'll get into it right here. This morning, Elon tweeted, "Am considering taking Tesla private for 420, funding secured," and people were not sure exactly what that meant. Was that did they vote on it? I mean, nothing was public up until this morning. I mean, at open, I mean, nothing was happening with the stock, as you can see here to my right here. You know, this morning the stock was kind of flat to down, and there really wasn't anything going on with it. And then CNBC actually put out a push notification if you have that app on your iPhone, and they said, like, you know, Elon tweeted that they wanted to go private, but it was unverified. So people were thinking, you know, it wasn't verified. So people were thinking, was his account hacked, or they really weren't sure. And then he said, you know, good morning. And then he started getting into it where now it looks like it was verified and some news came out. And, you know, it's kind of interesting, and it's kind of, you know, who knows, you know, basically Tesla, I mean, what Elon was saying, he actually put out a memo here to all Tesla employees saying, like, this is legit. You know, the reason why I want to go private is because it's, you know, the swings in our stock price is a distraction, and, you know, we want to focus on, you know, making the cars, not on our stock price. And if you've been trading, let's look at, I've covered this before, but if you've been trading Tesla over the last year, I mean, they've really gone nowhere. They get a lot of bad press, and, you know, there's been a lot of ups and downs, but really the stock's gone nowhere. I mean, it hit a high of 389 back in September, but it's really just been mid-range. It's been really nice. You know, it's been really nice trading, making money on Tesla. I mean, it's been, I mean, I did a video a couple days ago about cashing my stock out last November for 110% gain, but I've been trading the options on it for a few years, and, you know, it's been going great. But, you know, looks like Tesla, you know, he wants to take it private, but also, what did he say here? He said, yeah, my hope is for all shareholders to remain, but if they prefer to be bought out, then this would be a nice premium. So basically, he's saying that, you know, they can either sell at 420, or when they go private, still hold shares in the company when they're private. And I think just Elon is, you know, tired of the scrutiny. And if you know anything about Tesla stock, it's the #1 shorted stock on the market right now. You know, the short interest is super high, but, you know, kind of what makes this interesting is, you know, kind of out of nowhere he says that, and then this morning at that time, let's pull up the 15-minute chart so you can see better. You know, really went from 340 all the way up there, and actually, what was it? It was around 367. The stock was halted, and people are saying this is not necessarily legal. You know, you're screwing short sellers and stuff like that. But if you know anything about Elon, you know he really doesn't care about short sellers, because, I mean, why should he? Because they're betting that the company is going to go bankrupt. They're betting that the company is going to go down, and they're wanting his demise. So, you know, it's not surprising that he did something like this, whether it's a publicity stunt or what. I mean, who knows? But, you know, the price action is the price action, and, you know, what's interesting here is if you take a look at these calls here, I mean, you had almost a 5,000% on some of these here, and you have 2,700%. And I don't know if anybody was trading this that's watching this right now, if they were trading this or had a position, but you instantly, if you had calls or you had a vertical put spread, I mean, you automatically were at max profit, or you automatically made a couple of 1,000%, and you didn't even know what hit you. And, you know, the dangers, one of the things I want to highlight, some people ask me, like, you know, isn't it easier to short sell naked calls than doing like a, you know, a vertical call spread? And yes, it is easier to sell naked calls or naked puts, but you're at undefined risk, and things like this could happen where, let's say you were short this morning. Let's say even if it was the 350 calls. The 350 calls here, you're going to be, for each contract, you're going to be paying $3,000 in losses on that. And that's why, especially like, I mean, if you have the money in your account to short this naked, you know, you obviously have a decent amount of cash in there. But, you know, I get used to, I want to, always have a defined risk, especially when you're new to trading and not really sure, which direction it's going to go. Even like a cheap stock like Snapchat that has rich premiums, I don't necessarily sell naked calls in there if I want to short it, or naked puts in there. I mean, yeah, naked puts is defined risk because, it's not likely that the stock is going to go to zero. But you could still lose a couple $100 very easily. So selling call spreads to me makes more sense because it defines your risk, and it also gives me a better entry and exit strategy. So if I have a call spread and it goes against me, I'm willing to sell that at a certain price I already have in mind before I put that trade on. Versus when you're selling a naked call and something like this happens. Elon had Tesla trading like a penny stock today, and when you have this kind of action, it goes from 342 to 355. Let's even look at the 1 minute chart here to see really how fast that rose up. Let's look at, in 10 minutes it went from 342 to 360. If you were naked, I mean, you're already down a few grand there, and that's the risk. But I mean, if that's the game you want to play when you do naked. But for those people that are selling calls, I bet they were offloading rather quickly because spikes like this don't usually stay, and it was also unverified. So it's very interesting. Who knows if Tesla's going to go private or not, or if this is a publicity stunt. I mean, he did say he had funding secured, but I mean, who knows? Who knows what that means? Elon does own 20% of the company, but he still has to go through a vote. He still has to go through the regular procedures any public company has to do when buying shares or going private, or making any sort of mergers or transitions in that. But I just want to kind of highlight some of the risk here for selling naked options, and you can definitely make more money, and it's easier when you roll or close trades, but not necessarily worth the risk in the amount that you have to take on to do something like that. So if this video was an interest to you, leave a comment below. If you have any questions, leave a comment below. If this is your first time coming to this channel and this video was of value to you, hit the subscribe button and push that like button for me. Thanks.